Hello gamers, Slowski here, and this is the Witching Moons, a tournament on the chain. We are going to look up my fights from the tourney, and I'm essentially going to talk a little bit over them. Maybe like gonna share a little bit of trivia with you, maybe gonna tell you my thinking process behind particular fights that mostly ended, in that way that you have seen just a moment ago. So this fight is interesting because I and Garu actually desynced, that you can see over here, and ultimately because of that the fight was repeated, but we didn't know that yet, so we kept on fighting despite me being on the half of the HP. So yeah, it's essentially kind of exclusive. As you can see, like the chat is like, wait, what the hell is going on? Meanwhile, we just like continued with the match normally. Was quite fun, and I have used a lot of the tools from my inventory, which didn't happen much throughout the whole tournament because most of people I have killed with Greatbow, and usually the rounds were kind of, well, some could say anticlimactic. At least this is what I have seen on the chat. But yeah, Garu basically lost here by the gravity, and this is the second legitimate round. This is the first shot. This round actually lasted 13 seconds. This shot over here is decisive, and yeah, Garu just got hit off the chain. And as you can see, the chat kind of happy, or like more like happy. It was unique, okay? I wasn't really happy myself about this particular win because, to be fair, I just was thinking only about Garu position, that he basically started the tournament and he ended it on the first round by getting basically outed twice. And yeah, by the way, this is the second fight, the round 2 against Aizen. Yeah, it is against Aizen. So in this one, I have faced Aizen with his kind of steep bow build, but not really. He actually was using the steep arrows here, but later on he swapped to arrows that deal like 50 poise damage, which actually is pretty good in this particular tournament. The reason for that is because the poise limit of this tournament was 50? No, sorry, that was 49. It was 49. So these arrows actually deal like 50 poise damage, so they deal more poise damage than the actual upper poise limit that you can have on your build. And yeah, it was an interesting fight, a lot of screaming, a lot of current gaming, one could say. And overall, despite that, it's just kind of my fault that I have lost so much HP so far. I think I supposed to swap way sooner to what you see here, which is the halberd, which was, in my opinion, insanely good option for this particular tournament. I wasn't using that much because I was aiming to get the reward for that thrusting sword build, which turned out like I would get anyway because I was literally the only person that was running the thrusting sword. But yeah, like the halberd was powerful because it has access to the storm assault, I think it is called, the Ash of War. It's Ash of War that gives you instant hyper armor. It also like makes you jump into the air and can through combo, which is pretty freaking good. But yeah, the situation over here is very tight, as you can see. I basically am out of any sort of the HP. I try to enable the so-called cockroach mode, just equip the defensive talisman and heal up slowly, but yeah, I just got shot in the backs. So I sped up the footage over here a little bit because, as you can see, the Aizen's idea in this particular round was to simply, you know, kind of, oh look, I'm gonna waste his arrows and so on. So now I started shooting the golden arrows to kind of distract my opponent because they have different length of the shot, and that one was the golem arrow yet again that hit Aizen and ringed him out, which essentially gave me win. So now it is 1-1, and this is going to be the last round that Aizen had that idea to just like rush on me with the shield. But yeah, it ended up like it ended. This one is the fight against Dark. Dark is gamer from Poland, so we had like very good connection. That shot was very unlucky that it didn't ring Dark out. Despite it absolutely could, it's just like angle of the shot was apparently a little bit off. This fight, I straight up going to say that like Dark played it out way better than me overall. He's also like gamer that has like perfect understanding of the Nakagiba, and despite me actually knowing more or less of playstyle of the gamer, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes like this one. I, for example, gambled on him trying to attack me aggressively, so I just went with Stormhawk and I paid the price for that. The another round was not much better, to be honest. In this round, I think like I'm going to end up basically misjudging with the range of the Nagakiba Unsheath, I think. We are going to see in the moment. But yeah, essentially, as you can see, I use a lot of the Nagakiba offhand, not offline. The reason for that is because Nagakiba has 14 frames startup, something like that. Here I tried to do like a little bit of shenanigans with the hard swap to the right hand Nagakiba, but yeah, as you could have seen, like I got outranged. Or more like I got caught on my rollouts because I misjudged the range. This round over here is the one that I am going to essentially win. We even received like 800 damage here, something like that, yeah. Essentially, man, like throughout this whole tournament, it's kind of both supremacy from my side, which is quite funny. Here I know my HP advantage, and unless I will do some sort of the mistake, I know that I can just like trade like stupid because it is essentially like a one run. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate that I, for example, didn't hit the 2 combo here, and before like my offhand Nagakiba bounced off the chain because the fight would be over by now. Here we see the roll attack that I have checked out later on. Turns out it has like a 11 frame startup, which is absolutely insane. And yeah, like gamer Dark here has like very low amount of the HP. I basically have, unless I'm gonna do something stupid, confirmed win here just by 10 daggers, and this is what happens. So yeah, the gamer just straight up died. And this is the last round, which I hate myself for, because what happens here is I basically am killing myself straight off the bat, which is insanely stupid. So ultimately, gamer just plays a little bit of footsies. I'm trying to keep my composure, and despite that, like I'm trying to not aggress too much, just, you know, trying to play it cool. Soon enough though, I'm actually going to, yeah, here I pivoted accidentally, and because of that I failed on the swap, and yeah, I essentially completely inted that round. The next one is the 3rd place round against me and Vinyo, and we are both from Poland as well, exactly like me and Dark. The thing is though, like Vinyo is living way closer to me. So against Dark the ping is around 40, and against Vinyo the ping is freaking 17. So we are close to land like environment basically. And yeah, a lot of the golden lands were happening during this tournament, as it is just insanely good option. Vinyo also using the Nagakiba, as you can see, as Nagakiba is technically straight up the best weapon on this tournament because of its frame data. I have almost lost here, but thankfully I just managed to roll out. even though, no, not gonna lie, this rolling was kind of meh. When I was actually looking at my footage over here, I just kind of realized that, man, if I would be using that main hand halberd against Dark, it probably would be win. Although on the second side, yet again, I really wanted to get that thrusting swords rewards for, like, you know, monetary reasons is like a one thing, but overall a person that is responsible for this tournament, kind of person that sponsored it is Moon, and Moon is a good guy. He told me that he wanted to see thrusting swords. It is like a weapon that he's the most interested in. He likes the weapon, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do the thrusting swords build, even though the practice was actually showing that it is definitely not the best option. Okay, round 2. I got that hit. I think this is exactly the round where I realized what I told you, that, like, you know, the halberd main hand and offhand Nagakiba was probably the most meta setup here, especially with the Storm Assault. It's basically, against Nagakiba, it allows you to get off the opponent that is comboing you from basically neutral. Let me actually, yeah, I think it's gonna be here. Yeah, like, I'm gonna get hit, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I'm hitting the opponent. I am not swapping off the halberd yet, so yeah, it's probably here, yeah. So basically I just clicked that L2 and my opponent got basically freaked. That is also a true combo, so yeah, it definitely would be in my favor to kind of keep on halberd on the main hand throughout the whole duration. But yeah, anyway, the fight here is over, and this is the last round. It was also like quite fast because, well, let's say that, yeah, it just, yeah. I mean, there is nothing more to say.
But yes, an exceptional play there on the side of Stolovsky, and you know, it all boils down to that in here. You know, we've jokingly called it the 50-50, but I think honestly, there's a bit more to it. It's about waiting for those opportunities to get the guaranteed kill. And here we go. The shenanigans is now afoot. You can't see it, ladies and gentlemen, but you can hear it, as he will be sent away out of spite, no doubt. But no, fair play to Steel. He's done an absolutely exceptional job here so far. And again, deeply impressed by his play.
Yeah, sigh of disappointment, because hey, I really wanted to win the tournament, yeah? I really wanted to win this one. I have competitive approach, obviously, and I am, well, no shit, tryharding in the tournaments. No matter if I am actually using less optimal like setup options or more optimal setup options, it is always about that attempt to get the W. This is what the tournaments are for, after all. But yeah, the chain tournament, absolutely phenomenal experience. I would repeat it as many times as is only possible. Because yeah, it was just so cool to participate in such unique tournament, and I cannot wait for the another ones. I think this might be the way to go with the tournaments. We're supposed to have more of restrictive, unique tourneys that basically just feel refreshing and nice. Out of funny trivia, I have slept 3 hours before the tournament. Because I had to spend a lot of time attempting to repair my controller. I had terrible left analog drift that basically was moving my character around on its own, which, as you can imagine, is not something that I'm supposed to play with. So yeah, I spent shit tons of time trying to fix it. I managed to fix it. But controller on the next day basically crumbled. It broke. Funnily enough, in the way completely unrelated to the analog drift or any other issues that controller had before. So yeah, by the way, it was $350 SCAF controllers. So basically, total recommendation for the SCAF products, guys. Please buy more of them. They are very good. I totally recommend. Totally not being sarcastic here, like, I swear. But yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. I see you in the next tournaments and obviously in the next videos. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good one. Bye.